another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ died and he rose again. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So, the Portland Trailblazers back in the 1997-98 season were involved in one of the worst losses in NBA history when they lost to the Indiana Pacers 124-59. You heard it. They lost to the Indiana Pacers 124-59 in Indiana, okay? And in case you didn't hear me, they lost 124-59 to the Indiana Pacers, okay? And so Rasheed Wallace recently talked about this, okay? Rasheed Wallace says everybody was busting our ass, okay? Everybody on the Pacers, okay? So saw this on a basketball network. Rasheed looks back on the worst loss of his NBA career. The Trailblazers, they finished 46-36, but they lost to the Lakers in the first round, 3-1. The writing may have been on the wall earlier, though, that his team would win the title because they suffered a horrific 124-59 loss to the Indiana Pacers midway through the campaign. The 65-point margin of defeat was the third biggest blowout in the NBA's history. And this is what Rasheed Wallace said. We on an East Coast road trip, okay? It's either the first or second game. We in Chicago. That's back when the Bulls was doing a thing. They was on that run winning championships. We go in and beat them in Chicago. Oh. So, there's a little bit of a backstory to that, okay? They just beat the Bulls 108-101 in Chicago, right? I remember that. I believe J.R. Ryder hit a key three down the stretch to help Portland win in Chicago 108-101. So this game has a little bit of a backstory to it, right? Okay, let's continue. We go in there and beat them in Chicago. Oh man, we are on a MF and high. In the locker room, everybody's dancing and SHIT. We got music playing. We all feeling good. We dancing. We like, yeah, we just beat the Bulls. Okay. So you remember when the Celtics beat the Bulls on opening night of the 97-98 regular season? Yeah. That was pretty much it for Rick Pitino. That was pretty much it for Rick Pitino. That was the high water mark of the Rick Pitino era, right? So, Wallace could continue. It's a back-to-back. The next night, we landed in Indiana. I think as a team, they shot like 86%. We was playing defense, but them MFers were hitting everything. Everybody was busting our ass. When them zeros was up there on that board, we lost like 53 or 55. They was kicking our ass across the board. Rasheed added. They actually lost by 65, okay? They actually lost by 65, okay? And, this story from Wallace shows just how things can change in the NBA. One night you're riding high after beating the best team in the league, and the following day you find yourselves on the end of a historic blowout loss. But somehow it's worse than Wallace explained. The Pacers didn't shoot 86% from the floor. They shot 63.6%, okay? but the 65-point margin of defeat is hideous. And the 59-point outing on offense is one of the lowest totals in modern NBA history. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. So yeah, Portland finished 46 and 36 88. You got to remember something. They also lost twice to Denver that year too. Yeah. The same Denver Nuggets who finished 11 and 71 that year. Yes. The same Denver Nuggets team that finished 11 and 71 that year. And I remember one day they lost to the they lost to the Nuggets one night. And I remember my oldest brother, he was reading the sports page, and he said, Denver won again. And I'm like, who did? And I'm like, really? Who did they beat? They were like, and my brother was like, Portland. Yeah, 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 yeah. That was pretty much the Trailblazers for you. Speaking of historic defeats, okay, there was one defeat that involved Steve Kerr and Miami Heat, Steve Smith. Okay, so the Miami Heat were on the wrong end of a 148-80 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers during the 1991-92 season. Okay. I believe that was a 68-point loss. Okay, the Heat lost 148-80. Okay, 90, 100, 68. Yeah. So the Miami Heat lost by 68. Okay, Miami Heat lost by 68, 148-80, 148-80. Okay, and that was Steve Smith's rookie year. Okay, and that was Steve Smith's rookie year, but obviously Steve Smith can't remember what year it is on this episode of NBA Open Court, but it was Steve Smith's rookie year. Okay, when the Miami Heat lost 148-80 to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Steve Kerr recently talked about it. This was years ago on NBA Open Court, but he recently talked about this.
The luckiest guy ever. I mean, I played on 2 teams in 15 years that didn't make the playoffs. One was your rookie year, we barely missed. Right. We went 41-41 with Orlando.
Right.
Barely missed the playoffs. Yeah. But the other one was in Cleveland just because of injuries. But other than that, I was on great teams. But I was thinking about Steve Smith and I actually were in the same game, biggest blowout in NBA history. Thanks. Remember that? Yeah, I still remember the score, 148-80.
80.
And was that your rookie year?
No, it wasn't my rookie year.
That wasn't the game you scored 23.
No, it wasn't.
Who was the game you scored 24? Is that the game you scored 24?
Who was Steve Jackson? I do remember that.
Sound like that. You should remember that.
Left of the lane, goes into the lane with a running right hand hook off the back of the rim. No good. Nance knocks the ball outside to Price. Price over the timeline, down to the circle, back to Nancy. Price scores from the right hand. Right wing to Kerr. Kerr out front, back to Ferry, right side, steps back for a 3. Got it! Beating Mary with 11. This is going to do it. Haskins dribbles ahead, and the game is mercifully over. The Cavaliers destroy the Miami Heat 148-80. This is the largest margin of victory in the history of the National Basketball Association.
I mean, it was unreal. It was unreal. Kevin Lockyer was our coach, and Kevin Lockyer was unreal with stories. I mean, every time the timeout, he came out and says, "You know what? We're not going to win this game." We're not that good right now. I mean, we were getting blown out. I think at one time we were down 70 points at one time.
But then you cut it to 68.
Yeah, we cut it to 68, yeah. We were down 70.
How about playing teams, Charles, that you knew were bad? This should be...
This is why NBA players have some of the best stories NBA players have some of the absolute hilarious and best stories of all time, okay? This is why NBA players, this is why old school NBA players, oh my goodness. Some of the best stories you will ever hear, okay? Yeah, so, yeah. All right, that's it, and that's all for Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am out of here. Happy New Year, y'all. Peace out.